I'm Sapurik, and this is weekly Sunni-Ai, your numerological energetic forecast for the week of December 3rd, 2018. Okay, working with a 12 frequency. 12 is the number, when we add the 1 and 2 together, it becomes a 3, but in Vedakara numerology, we recognize the 12. We call it, we wouldn't call it a master number, but we would call it a significant number. Okay, so significant numbers actually mean something, they have like a deeper meaning, maybe kind of slightly different meaning. Than just if we were to add the numbers together, the 1 and 2 together to make 3. Okay, so little review. Last week we had an 11 frequency and we've been in an 11 year and we're in an 11 month. And so we have been working with our, like, coming into what our high self actually is, like moving into like our highest frequency, our best qualities, and then actually not just sort of doing it and occasionally, but trying to actually live it, and actually kind of come from that as much as we can, right? So this week in a 12 frequency, we're working with, how did we explain it? I explained it with my lovely Kavita Adi, who helps me with the weekly numerology. We were talking about now, once you have experienced your high self, you want to actually now put it into time and space through your experience with other people. So I call the 12 frequency an Aquarian number. And why I call it the Aquarian number is because you're working with a 1 frequency, which is yourself, the autonomy with yourself, your truth, your essence, who you are, you're self-sufficient, you're autonomous, you're in your power. And then you have the 2, which is about relationships with other people, with your projects, with your environments, with everything. Right? So when you have the 1 and the 2 together, you're working with your own autonomy with others. So in other words, we're moving out of what we would call the Piscean notion of a hierarchical kind of reality and into more of a holistic reality. So in the past, people worked for people. I work for this, for that. And now it's a working with, right? It's a work with. It's like, how can I be in my own autonomy and how can I participate with this other person? And then with that, right, the 1 and the 2 make a 3. Then we create together. 3 is the number of creativity that likes to be expressed. Okay, so we're working with that 12 frequency now, and we're working with it this week, and it's giving us a preview of what 2019 is going to be like. Because 2019 is going to ask us to like come into what the 11 was, what our highest frequency is of ourself, taking that and then moving it into the new year of like, how do I do that with other people? How do I bring that? How do they bring their highest self, my highest self, and we're creating whatever we want, essentially. You're creating like new realities that are out of this kind of fear, dominant, controlling Piscean notions. Okay. All right. How do we do that? All right. Well, one of the first things we do is that we like to listen. We listen to our inner voice. We listen to ourselves speaking. What are we actually saying to ourselves? Okay. Because in order to create anything that's going to be new, we have to communicate. So take a few moments this week, close your eyes, settle yourself, and then listen. Okay? You're going to listen to the voices that are actually speaking and speaking through you. And are those voices dominant, controlling, negative, kind of punishing? Or are they loving, expansive, creative, joyful, happy? You get to choose. Okay? All right. I'm Sapurik, and this is Weekly Sunni-Ai.